Hello, my name is Dr. Maria Weber, and I'm director of the Wiley Planetarium at Delta State University. This week, something really exciting is happening in our sky, and it's called Venus's greatest illuminated extent. So on the night of Monday, April 27th, Venus is going to shine the brightest of any other night of the year. But why does this happen with Venus? Well, there are two reasons why Venus goes through shifts in its brightness throughout the year. Venus changes its distance relative to the Earth during the year because Venus is orbiting the Sun just like we are orbiting the Sun. And also, Venus and Mercury too go through phases just like the Moon goes through phases. And so right now, Venus is on the same side of the Sun as the Earth, and Venus is illuminated by about 27% with light from the Sun. And so those two things together contribute to Venus's greatest illuminated extent. You might ask, well, Venus is only lit up by 27%. Why isn't Venus the brightest whenever it's lit up by the Sun, like a full moon is fully lit up by the Sun? Well, that's because from our perspective here on the Earth, when Venus is fully lit up by the Sun, Venus is actually going to be on the opposite side of the Sun from Earth. So, even though Venus might be fully illuminated by the Sun, it will be much, much further away whenever Venus is in its full phase. And so you have to have just the right relationship between Venus's distance to the Earth and also how much of Venus is being illuminated by our Sun. Now, all the planets and moons in our solar system are not creating their own light. What we see in the sky with our moon and the planets is light from the Sun being reflected off the surface of those planets or the moon. Right now, the moon is in a waxing crescent phase. That means the bright part of the moon is growing, but less than half of it is illuminated by our Sun. So there's less light being reflected off of the moon's surface from the Sun, and that allows us to see Venus even better. And one really great way that you can observe Venus is by looking off to the west about an hour after sunset. And if you do that over the course of the next few days, you're going to see Venus and the moon really close together to each other in the sky. And another great way you can observe Venus is with a pair of binoculars. So if you have a set of binoculars that you use for bird watching or hunting or any other outdoor activity, you can use it to look up at the moon and to look at planets too. I'm outside at about 8:45 p.m. and I'm going to take a look to see if I can find Venus and the moon. So right now, Venus is just a little bit closer to the horizon than the moon is, and I'm looking almost directly due west here. Now, so I see Venus, this really bright dot there in the sky. But even with these binoculars, I'm not really able to resolve the about 27% illuminated shape of Venus, but what I can do, which would be really cool, is I'm going to move my binoculars over so that I can see the moon. And so the moon is just a little bit higher in altitude in our sky and a little bit closer to west. So, oh, there we go. I've got the moon here. And so right now the moon is in a waxing crescent phase. So it's a really thin sliver of the brightly illuminated part of the moon. And it's really cool to observe the moon while it's not in a full moon phase, because when you look at the terminator is the line dividing the bright part and the dark part of the moon. When you look at that terminator region, you're able to actually see some really awesome shadows. And those shadows actually highlight really well the craters that we can see on the moon's surface.